I want to share with you a story which has come from West Wales that we can be really proud of. We have so many challenges at the moment. When I think about climate change, it makes me feel quite scared. I feel scared for my children. I wanted to share this photograph with you, mainly to help me calm down a little bit. The two people in the photograph are very special people to me. The elderly man is a man called Watkin Jones, and he was a very, very good friend of mine. You can see how empowering he is there with young Geraint. Watkin actually installed most of the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. I don't know if any of you have taken a walk along the coast, but it was mainly Watkin's labour that created that wonderful coastline. And it made me think about how he empowered us all to enjoy the beauty, having negotiated with so many landowners. Geraint, who was also in the picture there, has been busy building bug hotels. He's doing his bit for the environment in West Wales too. So they're a great inspiration. As is dear Martha Lane Fox. She is a very successful businesswoman in the UK, and I admire her because she produced a system for spending a little bit of money, being very spontaneous. As always, a very brilliant service for us to have. And Martha is a huge fan of Aaron Schwartz. And Aaron, he didn't just say that, he also said that it was not okay to not understand the internet anymore. Aaron was very interested in the whole idea of how we democratize knowledge. And he got into a little bit of trouble for doing that in the beginning. But I think we now understand the idea that sharing is very important. I wanted to give you a little bit of background about my own journey to the internet. I worked in mainstream journalism, and I was sent many, many years ago to attend a conference all about the internet and the World Wide Web. And I came back absolutely terrified. I'd met the sole starter of Siberia, which was an internet cafe, and she'd explained how everything was going to change in the media. So I went out and bought myself a computer, one of these pizza box computers, and a modem. You can still get these computers, but you have to go to a museum these days. And if I can fast forward to my current situation, these young students here, they are engineering students. And although they're interested in designing a racing car, this is an electric-powered car. So they are already thinking about the impact of their actions on our climate. So we have democratized pretty much everything. And yet we're told that we live in a very unequal society. When you think about the things that we can do online, we can reach out to anybody we like, we can have the power of crowds, we can be very individual, we can choose what news to watch, we can buy things, sell things, and understand things, and yet there seems to be a gap. And this gap was first identified, certainly from my life, by a social entrepreneur based in Pembrokeshire, Peter Anderson, who's here this evening. It was Peter who had really acknowledged this through his work in web development. And he had decided that he needed to do something about democratic decision-making and came up with an idea called VocalEyes, which kind of does what it says on the tin. It allows people to vocalize using digital technology. So when we think about our social networks, this was a network for action. So it wasn't about how popular you were, how great your profile picture was, or how many followers you had. This was a system purely to encourage people to generate ideas. And along with that, because of course, whenever you ask people to come out with ideas, they have many. The difficulty then is what you do with those ideas. And so the system was developed to enable communities to not just develop ideas, but also to vote for each other's ideas and start to hone the ideas and turn some of those ideas into action. A very sort of simple process. Peter very first trialled his whole platform in his local village, where he put a story into the local parish magazine. And he asked local residents in Pembrokeshire to come up with ideas to improve their village and to post these ideas onto a digital platform. And then they were invited to rate and debate and hone these ideas. And the ideas were then published back onto the parish magazine. And as you can see, there were many fantastic ideas. There's just 14 mentioned there. The highest rated idea was for an organic veg box scheme. And because so many people wanted it, they were able to set it up very quickly. And that was a key moment, because what our current paradigm is that we set up businesses and then we spend a lot of money marketing ourselves. This was doing it the other way around. It was saying to people, what do you want? And they wanted a veg box scheme. This was an opportunity for an entrepreneur to set that business up. And also, when we start to develop these brilliant ideas, with digital technology, we can then share those ideas very easily amongst other communities. But also remember, you don't force those ideas on people. You just simply let them have a digital tool that allows them to see those ideas. Seed the idea and see if your community is interested. And then, of course, you can go ahead and do it. So many ideas are around these key elements. I'm very interested in what we're doing about climate change, but organisations are always looking to be more efficient. They're looking at how to manage their budgets. They're always interested in how to maintain and increase their quality. And they're beginning to understand that it's only through tapping into the wisdom of their crowd that this will start to happen, this bottom-up rather than top-down process. And organisations are aware of that, but we still don't really know how to do it. And this is where digital tools can really be that opportunity. I put this slide in because I've had so many ideas shown to me through TED. This is vertical farming and, of course, 3D printing. And sometimes you watch these aspirational talks and think, wow, how could we do that in our community? Through a system like VocalEyes, you're able to introduce these ideas, and if there is a buy-in for that idea, we can then all start to share that. And it's only really by doing that that we're going to start making big changes from a grassroots level. So, my experience in education has been in empowering young people to get involved in the planning of their education. When I first started working with these two young ladies, they had started an engineering course, and I asked them for ideas for how to improve their learning. And being teenage girls, they were a little bit nervous of wearing the PPE because they were designed for boys, not for girls. And they were able to vocalize their suggestion that they wanted girl-shaped overalls rather than small boy-shaped overalls. I don't think they would ever have been able to voice that within a classroom, but they put it up on a digital system. And, of course, the most important thing is to turn these ideas into action. So that particular idea was fed back, and the people who work in the engineering department ordered them proper overalls overnight. And these young ladies now are, in fact, studying to be motor vehicle engineers. We worked with other groups of young people who were very focused on food. We talked to young students in schools and in colleges, and they wanted budget lunches. They wanted free drinking water instead of buying bottled water. I don't know if you're aware, but San Francisco has banned the sale of bottled water. And indeed, the students were unhappy about the cost. Because we were able to show to the university that that was an issue for their students, they were able to put that into action really quickly. And it's because we're using this technology, which our young people are so comfortable with, that we're able to start to understand some of these. So, here are a lot of you said we did. So you see these posters around a lot. I think the difference with this is that the ideas were generated by the young people themselves. And I have a feeling that when you encourage young people to start to engage in their learning, they then will hold the decision makers to account. And in doing that, they start to feel like active citizens. And that's what's happened with very young children. For the first time, they've been able to present their priorities, and the head teacher has been able to see those priorities. And what are young people asking for? They were asking for more discipline in class. They wanted to have more organised dinner queues. They wanted to have sports clubs for kids who were not very good at sports. It was fascinating to see how seriously they took the whole idea of coming out with things to improve their education. And I felt that in that moment, they started to get it. And instead of being passive recipients of education, they were starting to feel that they were part of it. And when I think, again, about the things I worry about, we talk about the sixth mass extinction. My daughter was showing me a video yesterday about the huge loss of species and, of course, the connection with that and the CO2 levels. And I'm aware that we feel powerless in that situation. And I've been told repeatedly that it is down to grassroots democracy. It's down to us to start to engage people, and that it's only by small communities coming together and deciding what they're going to prioritize and what they're going to do, that we're going to address these challenges. And I think we all probably agree with that. But the problem is, how do we do it? I've witnessed a quiet revolution happening in West Wales, where many organisations have started to go digital, and by doing that, making those small changes and starting to cooperate with each other. And it's helping me to feel a little less fearful of what's going to happen in the future. I'm going to leave you with dear Watkin and Geraint. Watkin passed away a month ago of cancer. He was 82, and he'd lived a wonderful life. And he was very supportive of young Geraint, who's actually my son. And he, as you can see, has Down syndrome. And I think it's very important, again, that when we talk about empowering people, that we remember people like Watkin and Geraint. They need to be empowered too, and they need to be part of what the solution is. And it's thanks to the amazing technology that we have that we can start to work with everybody. And I think when we all start to feel better, brilliant things can happen. Thank you.